Hey everyone, have you ever thought about what would happen if every single country in the world decided to join the same team? Like one giant global team? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, this amazing group called the United Nations. Okay, so just picture it. Think about your favorite sports team, or maybe a time you and your friends teamed up to build something super cool, like a fort or a science project. Now imagine doing that, but with the entire world. What if all the countries could work together to solve the biggest, toughest problems? Well, that incredible idea is exactly what started the United Nations. So you might be asking, where did this awesome idea for a world team even come from? Well, to answer that, we have to hop in a time machine and go way back to just after a really, really big and sad fight called World War II. After that, the whole world was just tired of fighting. Leaders from everywhere realized they had to find a better way to solve their problems, a way that meant talking things out instead of going to war. You see, before 1945, if two countries had a big disagreement, it could easily turn into a war. There wasn't really a good place for them to just sit down and talk. But then, in 1945, everything changed. That year, 51 countries got together and made a huge promise to each other. They promised to work for peace and make sure a big war like that never happened again. And right then and there, the United Nations was born. And get this, from those first 51 countries, the UN has grown into this huge global family. Today, there are 193 member countries. That's almost every single country on Earth, all agreeing to be on the same team. How cool is that? It's just an incredible sign that we can all work together. All right, so we've got this giant world team, but what does it actually do? Well, the UN has three really big jobs, three main goals that are at the heart of everything they do. Let's dive in and check them out. First up, their number one job is to keep the peace. You can think of the UN as kind of like a referee in a soccer game, making sure everyone plays fair and helping countries solve problems without fighting. Second, they protect human rights. This is a big one. It means they work to make sure every single person is treated fairly and with respect, no matter who they are or where they come from. And third, they help countries work together on giant problems. Things like protecting our planet or fighting off sicknesses that are way too big for any one country to fix by itself. Okay, so how in the world do you get 193 countries to agree on anything? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, you need a really good plan. The UN isn't just one giant room where everyone shouts. Nope, it has different parts that all have their own jobs, making sure everything runs smoothly and everyone gets a say. Let's take a peek at the two main parts. First, you've got the General Assembly. This is like a giant town hall meeting for the whole world. Every single country gets a seat and a vote, and it's where they talk about all the big global issues. Then, for the really urgent stuff, like making sure everyone stays safe, there's the Security Council. This is a much smaller group, and its job is to make big decisions fast to help keep the world peaceful. But wait, there's more. The UN also has these amazing special teams, kind of like superheroes with special powers. They're called agencies, and each one has a super important mission. And I bet you've heard of some of them. First up, there's UNICEF. That's the United Nations Children's Fund. Their whole job is about, you guessed it, kids. They work all over the world to make sure children are safe, have enough healthy food to eat, and can go to school to learn and grow. Next, have you heard of the WHO? That stands for the World Health Organization. This is a team of super smart doctors and scientists. Their job is to help keep everyone in the world healthy. They fight diseases and help countries make sure their people are well and safe. And then there's UNESCO. This team has one of the coolest jobs ever. They protect amazing historical places, like ancient ruins and beautiful national parks. They also help people get a good education and celebrate all the different cultures that make our world so interesting and fun. The UN is always thinking about the future, about making our world an even better place. They've set some really big goals, like helping to stop climate change, making sure every kid can go to a great school, ending extreme poverty, and making sure everyone has clean water to drink and enough food to eat. These aren't just wishes, they're actual goals the UN is working on right now. Now, I know all of this sounds huge, like world-changing stuff, right? But here's the best part. You don't have to be a president or a diplomat to help. The whole idea behind the UN is something we can all be a part of. It's about being a global citizen, which just means caring about our planet and the people on it, just like we care about our own friends and family. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? You don't have to do something gigantic to make a real difference. Nope. Every single time you decide to be kind, or stand up for a friend, or even just learn something new about a place you've never been, you're doing it. You're helping to build a more peaceful world. The United Nations really shows us what's possible when we all work together as a team. We can do some truly incredible things, and its mission is really our mission too. So I want you to think about it. What is one small thing you can do today to make the world a little bit better, maybe at home or at school? Because every little bit of kindness, every small act of peace really, really matters.